Welcome. We bid you welcome, John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the metal.com, and tell you from my music corner of the world up to the limit number episode 13. We have my co-captain on this journey, John the Music Nut from the Music Nut program. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, my friend. Welcome, Jack.
From
How you doing,
from
John?
all or nada, according to Jack Toledano. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me on. We
Mm.
had to finagle it a little bit. I am at my upstate home this week, and I am I am coming to you directly from my iPhone 13,
There you
as
go.
opposed to because I don't have Zoom on my laptop. And you know what? I didn't want to sit there and try it out on my wife's Mac. So this was, this was a better alternative.
Yeah, it works out good. Works out good. So today we're going to take a little trip over to Stalingrad,
Oh, God.
and we'll give you the yes. There you go. My case is a little busted up because the CD's like flopping all over the place. So man, they were recording this throughout 2011. As John alluded to last week, I'm like, when the heck did they find the time to? Because they were still doing a lot of touring throughout
Well,
2011. But they managed to get to Backstage Studios in England, and April 6th of 2012, this one comes out, and on the Nuclear Blast label. Here again, we got Andy Sneap at the helm. Part two of this Tornillo Sneap era, I guess you could say. And I don't know about you guys, but I think Wolf, Mark, and Sneap just seems to equal accept perfection. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's about a great way to describe it because and I think again, not saying that the charts really mean a whole lot of anything at this point, but apparently it meant something to the people on the charts. So I'm going to give the chart action real quick, and then we're going to turn it to Jack here. But over in Austria, this peaked at number 70. Belgium, this peaked at 68. Finland peaked at number 8, so that does well. Again, don't know what their criteria is. Over in France, this goes up to number 77. For John's favorite product, the German Johnson, number 6. Good chart there. Hungarian charts. I think that's a first. Number 5. Italy. Hey, Mangus. Number 95. Japanese charts. Number 80. Uh, Over in my buddy Paul and Ovi Rendum's neck of the woods in Norway, and this peaked at number 22. Polish Power.
horsepower.
Nice.
Sorry, I gave the joke away. I didn't mean to say it that way. Polish albums charts, number 46. The Spanish charts, number 66. The Swedish charts, number 10. The Swiss charts, number 17. UK independent albums, number 17. UK rock and metal albums, number 16. So not a big difference there. The Billboard Top 200 peaks at number 81. So this probably did well than Metal Heart on that chart. U.S. independent albums, number 13. U.S. top hard rock albums of Billboard, number 7. Top rock albums, number 29. And the top, was that Tastemaker albums, number 8. I don't know what the Tastemaker albums is. I didn't go to look that chart up. One thing I thought was kind of interesting, the album was honored with a Metal Storm Award in 2012 when it was voted Best Heavy Metal and Melodic Album.
Nice.
Oh, there's a little bit of uh, fun stuff there. So yes, again, maybe charts don't necessarily mean much, but apparently it's pushing physical chart numbers out. So that's a great sign. So we always love to see the physical media being shown. But to Jack, our friend, let's hear your point of entry, as we called it, into accept. And
Okay, so
then we'll let you talk about Stalingrad and what you want to talk about
okay.
with it.
So there's plenty of things to talk about, and some which I'm ad-libbing. So, like, first of all, the fact that you chose to do the charts for each country, uh, three of those countries that you mentioned are part of my nationality. So you mentioned Italian, you mentioned Spanish, and you mentioned Hungarian. That's three of my lineages right there.
There you
So
go.
I am very happy to see that all three of them participated in this greatness that is Accept. So, how I got started with Accept. So, as I before we signed on, and before John the Music Nut joined us, I was telling John Clauser that I didn't really know Accept back in the '80s and the '90s. It wasn't until I got a subscription to what the heck is it? Sirius XM radio. Now, I originally didn't get that for me. I got it from my wife because my wife is a country music fan, and Long Island is not exactly a hotbed of country music. And
Really?
they killed the last country station there, and she was really missing it. So I'm like, you know what? Would be a nice Christmas present. So I got her XM radio because there's a bunch of country, so she can just go hog wild. But every once in a while, I would take her car and I would tune in, and I found this station called the Boneyard. This is before Ozzy Osbourne came along, and I feel killed it. But that's a discussion for another day. But they were playing a lot of Accept. So some of the older stuff. So the more classic tunes by from the Udo era. But then they also played this song called Teutonic Terror, which I loved, and it prompted me to go buy that album, Blood of the Nations, which you talked about last week. And you know what? I gave it a couple spins and I loved it. And then it got to a point where every song was a highlight of that album. I go online every once in a while and I see, where are these guys playing? Because I'd like to go see them. And I had just missed that Blood of the Nations tour. So I'm like, you know what? Damn it, I'm gonna go see them on their next tour. So and you talked about how the Sneap connection with Wolf Hoffman, and you know what? You want to know something? I think they were still in the honeymoon period at that time, getting back together and bringing on Tornillo and doing such a great job that it was so well received by the fans, the heavy metal fans at large. They wanted to get this next album out there. So without even hearing a song, I went out and I bought it. And you want to know something? I was immediately fell in love with certain songs. So as soon as you put that needle down, hung, drawn, and quartered, I loved it. Uh, Stalingrad, what a great song. In a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about the lyrics to that song. A song that I am absolutely smitten to so much that I just recorded my top 100 all-time metal songs. Now, these are my songs. You know what? I may not do justice to certain bands, but these are all the songs today that I love. And Shadow Soldiers made that top 100 list. I love it that much. Other songs, Against the World, Twist of Fate. I think it's a very catchy song. I love it. And of course, The Quick and the Dead. But so I ended up going to see them for the first time on this tour. They they weren't by themselves. They were with Creator. I saw them at what was then known as the Best Buy Theater, right in Times Square on 44th, right off of 44th and Broadway, across the street from that great restaurant Carmine's. If you guys like Italian food, that's a good place, family style. Now it's called the Palladium. That's where I saw, except again, just this past September with KK's Priest. But at the time I saw them with, they were basically a special guest of Creator. And they opened with Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. And I thought that was just fantastic. They played a lot from this album. They brought back some of their songs from Blood of the Nations. they played a bunch of the Udo stuff, which I think they play very well with this new lineup. Uh, and it got me, and it got me into more of the older stuff. So now, here's another little known fact. So when I started being a guest on my friend Pete Pardo's Sea of Tranquility, my very first time was when I convinced him to take me on to talk about top 10 Kiss. So then a few months, and we basically did it in his kitchen, something he would rarely do. And we're right next to each other on his Apple Mac, recording this. So then COVID happened, and that's when we weren't able to all get together. And he's like, let's try. And I don't think he used Zoom. I think he used one of these other mediums, might have been Skype. He's like, let's try doing a recording. So he asked me if I wanted to do Accept with him. So we did our top 10 Accept. Unfortunately, it was a very good first episode. I mean, we tested it out. We had this whimsical, what the hell was it? Blooper where just to play around and try it out, I started talking about what I was cooking for dinner that night, and it turned out to be tomato sauce with Barilla pasta.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. But then we recorded it, he put it up online, everything was great. But of course, there's like one or two trolls that write in and were pissed off because they didn't like the fact that 7 out of my 10 songs were Mark Tornillo songs. I'm like, you know what? It's the way I hear it. It's just my opinion. Why would you sit there and basically badmouth my opinion when my number two song was an Udo song. It was the song Fast as a Shark, which I love, but still, guy had a problem. I'm like, we all hear things differently. What are you going to do? I came to the party a little bit late, and the rest is history. You know what? I saw them in concert for that tour. I loved them. I would see them 3 more times. I saw them on the tour on the album after it. I think Blind Rage was the next album. I saw that tour. I think I saw them on the Rise of Chaos tour, and then I saw them on this latest tour for the, looking at my shirt, Humanoid.
Yep.
So that's that. So let's talk about some lyrics. So first for Stalingrad, I'm not gonna recite the whole song, but along the Volga, mind set to kill, men standing ground with iron will, death march approaching, evil in stride. Now the god of war joins the other side. Pause. Verse 2, gunfire and bloodshed, shredding flesh and bone, as young men die in the killing zone. Be prepared to die for the motherland. I'm skipping pre-chorus, so hungry, so cold, but there can be no surrender, for greed and pride take hold. Blood is the cry, we'll kill or die for Stalingrad. You know the rest, but what intrigues me about this song is that Accept is a German-based band, and to this day, I am very well studied with World War II, and I could never understand why Germany decided to attack the Soviet Union. To this day, I still wonder why, but that was mistake number one. And they did it in the fall, and winter came, and they got trapped in and they lost that front. But they also, another mistake, they decided to attack Stalingrad, which I thought was strategically, and a lot of people thought was strategically unimportant. And that also lost them that battle. But, the leader of Germany, I don't want to say his name because he makes me sick, but being of Jewish descent also. But you know what? He thought that by attacking and beating Stalingrad, it would basically drive a stake through the heart of Joseph Stalin because it's named for him. But that turned out to be wrong. But here's this German metal band that I love singing about it from the point of view of the Russian soldiers, about everything that they had to do to hold the fort down and to save this city and not let the city fall. And I just thought it was very poignant and very well written, and I absolutely loved it. So that's number one. So now let's talk about the lyrics for another song that I absolutely love. And I don't know if you guys know this. I belong to a lodge where every year we have a pilgrimage to what they call the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington, Virginia. Okay. And as you drive in, they talk about those same stone white crosses that they mentioned in this song. So it's like, having known this song and having seen that as I drove through to get to this Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, it just gave me goosebumps. So let's talk about some of those lyrics. So cold and lonely, it seems so long since someone was here, following the shadows with the sun till it disappears. Thousands of stone white crosses, a formation for all to see, with flags and flames, the ranks and the names of those who died to be free. The fire remains in our hearts, all of our dreams made new, etched in the flames of freedom, we're living on through you. We're the shadow soldiers laid to rest standing tall. Shadow soldiers, in freedom you live, that's why we're giving it our all. So everybody go read the other lyrics to the rest of the song. I don't want to commandeer this episode by reciting the whole song, but you know what? Those lyrics, I've always been more of a riff guy and more of a guy that's been into the chord progressions and the riffs and the melodies. But these lyrics just really get me in here. I just love it. Beautiful job, guys. Absolutely beautiful. I think about this every Memorial Day, every Veterans Day, which ironically, for the first time next year, my company is giving us off for Veterans Day. So
that's cool.
Excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah. I might have to go into New York City and watch the parade that day. I am a patriotic American, and that's another reason for me to really love this song.
Yeah.
So that's my spiel. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me before you carry on.
If you're gonna rank the album, what would you rank it at? Like 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10?
I would say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Blood of the Nations gets 10 out of 10. So okay, maybe an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Yes.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I mean, granted, there are a few songs that are just there's a little more filler on here than there was on Blood of the Nations, but the songs that I mentioned are just so freaking strong and powerful that you know what? Like Twist of Fate and Against the World, those are more great tunes. Uh-huh. These songs that I mentioned really pick up this album. So no regret seeing this tour. It was a very proud moment in the annals of heavy metal for me.
Very cool. Thank you, Jack. That's good. That's great stuff.
Awesome.
Can't go wrong with can't go wrong with that kind of thought.
Right.
All right, John, go for it.
Okay. Well, we're continuing the winning streak here, and yes, as John indicated, when did they have time to record this? This came out just 20 months after Blood of Nations did, and they had that long tour in between, but their creative juices were still very sharp at this point. Let's get to the album. Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. No, not the Raven song from All for One, but just as killer as that one. We're starting with another fantastic fast-paced opener, a la Beat the Bastards, TV War, and Fast as a Shark. Start with that guitar line. We got Herman playing the chords. Wolf playing the lead line, and then the whole band kicks in, and we're off to the races. We got killer screams from Mark on here. Mark is screaming a lot on this album. And that, I think, is what really differentiates him from Udo. When he screams, he's more evil when he screams than Udo does. But a lot of double bass goodness here from Stefan Schwartzman. Plenty of it on this album. Very strong track to open. Stalingrad. This is where those gang vocals, the patented gang vocals from Accept, really blossom. You got a lot of soccer chants on this too, which really works well. But this is more chugging riffs on here. We're slowing down the tempo a little bit on the pre-choruses. We have the gang vocals on those as well. This is very strong. This is their number 12 most played song live. Strong solos on here, good use of drama. We got a nice musical bridge, which is very cool before they go back into that main chorus again. Very strong. Hellfire. To me, this is the grower of the album. This is an album, I'm sorry, this is a song where at first I liked it, but as I heard it more and more, it really grew on me. It's more cerebral when it starts, but then when it goes into that main theme, those killer riffs are excellent. We're slowing down in tempo for the solos, but we got a strong chorus on this. Another cool bridge after the solos on this track. Stefan, again, is a monster on this. Flash to Bang Time. This may be the one song where you could say it is thrash. This is a little heavier than Fast as a Shark. Not as good a song, because Fast as a Shark has that fantastic chorus. But as far as musicality, the relentless pace, this will take paint off your house. I mean, this is just so heavy. Stefan is on fire. We got another killer bridge on here. As I wrote here, Peter and Stefan are monsters on this track. And the screams from Mark are sick. Excellent. Shadow Soldiers. A song the band loves to play. They're still playing this live today when they headline. Their 11th most played song live. This plays like an anthem with that mid-tempo galloping beats. Fantastic. Excellent chorus on here. The lyrics on here, as Jack read for you, are wonderful.
Yes.
Mark's vocals are very commanding on here. Those lyrical guitar lines, so wonderfully played by Wolf, are excellent. Definitely one of the best songs from the Mark era. And probably my second favorite song on the album. Revolution. Now we're going back to the thrash again. Not quite as fast as Flash to Bang Time, but you got that great call and response in the verses with Mark and the Teutonic vocals. Fast-paced banger, cool chorus on here, strong track. Against the World, this is the shortest song on the album. Very solid, nice riffs on this one, short, effective chorus, really cool. My favorite song is Twist of Fate. I love mid-tempo, melodic, menacing, except.
That's one of those songs that I really love the riff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A song about moving forward, but be careful. Make sure everything is thought out before you move forward, whatever your goals are. Chorus on this is fantastic. We got Mark singing this in a lower register, and his voice builds in momentum and more in momentum and clarity as the song goes on. And then when you get into that chorus, it just hits you like a freight train. Excellent track. Quick and the Dead. I almost said Quick and Be Dead, Iron Maiden. This is our fourth song on here, really fast paced. This is, again, very aggressive, but we're getting a little samey with the fast paced songs like we did on Blood and Nation. But we got a kick ass bass solo from Peter on this for a little bit, which is really cool. Very well played. Good guitar lines on here. Strong track. Never forget. This is very solid. They're letting those chords really ring in the verses. When they go into that chugging chorus, but they go, let's roll. And then that guitar line kicks in. Then the song gets stronger. It's a solid track. The Galley is the epic that closes the album. It's 7 minutes and 22 seconds. I think it's a little too long. I think you could have put in that cool, mellow outro at the end while kept cutting some of the out in the middle. At this point, it's kind of when you got a lot of songs that are fast paced, it does tend to exhaust you a little bit while you're listening to this as a piece. But again, there's a cool bass line on this. You got some cool call and response with Mark and the backing vocals. It's a good closer. I don't think it's a great closer. It's not Princess of the Dawn or anything like that. And it is one that, hey, that is looked on very fondly by their fans. So we're still keeping up the momentum, though, on this album. I give this an 8.5. I've, at times in my life, and I bought this as a new release, I had this at a 9. When I listen to this now, what I really like. I used to be a little higher on Revolution, but now I think it's just a good track, not a great one. I've always loved Shadow Soldiers and Twist of Fate. Hellfire was one that really grew on me. The Galley, I think, is a little long. Never Forget is good. Yeah, not quite as consistent as Blood of Nations, as Jack alluded to, but it's still very good. 8.5 for Stalingrad for me. There you go.
There we go. All right. Well, they say great minds think alike, and I certainly don't consider myself to be a great mind, but I'll tell you what, so much of what John said here, as I'm reading through what I says, like, yep, that's what I said. Yep, that's yeah, yep. There's a lot of things here that he said that I could basically repeat almost, but because you caught the hung, drawn, and quarter thing. I'm like, man, I could so hear Raven, the current lineup of Raven doing a cover of this song. And then I got thinking, I was like, wait a second, they have a song called Hung Drawn, and yep. That doesn't sound like this one, but
Wow, that's
yeah,
interesting.
it's on their it's on the All for One album.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
song on
So
side 2 of the vinyl.
yep. Yep. So yeah, it doesn't, and I think the lyric topic is a little different than this one. I mean, this version is pretty much a judge, jury, executioner kind of deal here. But again with the lyrical themes of the guitar. Let's see. Almost, what I was getting on this song was with some of the screams is it was almost he was almost going into Rob Halford territory a little bit.
Yes,
That's kind of what there is still some Udoisms in the song, but I was like, ooh, this is almost sounding like Rob a little bit. Um, again, great opener, great off to the races we go. Um, Stalingrad, as Jack has so eloquently put it, talking about the Battle of Stalingrad and just the harsh and hardships that the soldiers had to endure during this whole thing. Yeah, solid riff, chugging chorus, the guitar vocal chants. Yeah, great song, great. Probably my favorite song. Probably one of my, or at least one of my favorites. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely my favorite. One
Oh,
of the
it's
easy ones to get behind. So Hellfire to me continues that horrors of apocalypse and war. You get a grinding opening, a good riff rocking verse. Let's see, moody solo section. You got that nice Middle Eastern Euro flair in there, and nice melodic bridge. But again, you're just continuing this constant this theme of war and battle, which seems to pretty much dominate this album consistently. Kind of picks up a little bit. A lot of reviews I was reading on this. This album picks up where Blood of the Nations essentially leaves off.
it
You know,
does.
there's not a whole lot different here you can throw in there. Flash to bang time again. This is just I kind of looked at this as like nighttime bombing and just how people have to react to that sudden reaction to these awful atrocities that keeps happening. Again, just a ferocious banger. It goes well with with the lyrics. Um, Shadow Soldiers. In the credits, Mark dedicates this to all those who gave their lives so that we can all live in freedom, which I thought that was can't
Yes.
go wrong with that. I mean, that's to me that is a wonderful track there. I love the acoustic little opening that which gives way to a good heavy groove. Yeah, maybe a little familiar territory musically here. But I think again, it's that maybe it seems weird that it's taken 13 albums to finally kind of get that familiar territory for Accept, but it just seems like they've fallen into this kind of they finally figured out what they really want to accomplish here. I think the classical influential solo. I love the ending. That ending riff, I think, is a nice way to end it. I thought it was nice, really cool ending. Revolution to me, politics at its best or worst. Eh. Yeah, time to fight back. Fade. You got that nice fade in march to battle, which I thought was really super cool. Again, I think that Sneap sounds really shines here. Almost gives me some Judas. This another song gives me some Judas Priest vibes a little bit. Can't exactly pinpoint it, but I felt a little Priest here somewhere.
Well, they have a
Um,
song called Revolution too.
that's
Yeah,
true. Yes.
they do.
That's true. Against the World, to me, this is another song dedicated to the metal community all around the world. Let's see. Again, the shortest track, but it just kicks you in the butt the entire time. Just a great rallying cry. Twist of Fate. Somewhere I read that I think somebody thought this was a little Dokkenish in its sound. I
I
didn't
wouldn't argue that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
bars,
can't totally
definitely.
argue it. So I thought, well, yeah, okay. I was trying to think of where I could pin because this song was a little bit of a palate cleanser because you've just been getting your rear end kicked the entire time. Again, you basically picked up where Blood of the Nations left off, and that kicked your butt the entire time. And this album's been doing the same thing. And Twist of Fate kind of gives you that little bit of a rest here, but yeah, you just like you guys said, it's like be careful what you wish for. Boy, some you just never know what could be around the corner. I think I love a lot of the stuff about this. You got a good driving chorus here. Mark's voice is great. You get a good bluesy melodic opening. I always thought it was a great track there. Quick and the Dead. Again, here's another one that I was trying to figure out. It's like, do I agree with this one or not? Somebody compared the riff to Motley Crue's Live Wire, just faster. And I'm like, I don't know if I totally agree with that, but hey, whatever. Throw it out there. Again, just the song just comes in, just bludgeons you considerably. You get that, you just take control, the feel that need for the speed and just get it beat to stay aggressive. Um, Never Forget's probably my favorite track, and it was a bonus track. Okay, so figure that one out. But I really like the. This was another bit of a palate cleanser. You get a wonderful tribute to 9/11, and just you know, I hate to quote Bush on this one, but the resolve, you know, finding that resolve and just keep fighting and just keep plugging forth and never forget, never forget how the nation came together, you know, for a while and just keep rolling forward. Um, I liked it for what it is, and it's like I said, nice little palate cleanser. The Galley, to me, the epic track dedicated to all the scallywags and the pirate boats and pirate ships and stuff like that. Yeah, Peter's bass really drives the riff. Yeah, the Viking row chants that you got in throughout the song. That outro solo section I thought was really super. That Yeah, the complete outro where they went mellow, I'm like, it seemed out of place, but it seemed like it was necessary. It just seemed weird to put it in there, but it is what it is. I still liked it. I thought it was a good, again, not the greatest closer that they've done, but still worthwhile. I'm like John. I'm gonna probably do this about an 8.5 as well, just because, again, while Blood of the Nations was just such a wonderful comeback, this I think I have to agree with a few people. I think they rushed this one just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they came out with this a little too fast. Um, if they were gonna do something, they maybe cut a couple of songs out, and really and maybe hone in some of the and make it not so fillery as I think as Jack alluded to, and again some reviews I read. So there you go. So that's my little trip to Stalingrad, as it were. So Jack, I know you said you saw them on this tour. So John, where let's talk about this tour.
All right, 85 dates, and it was divided into three parts because they did the European tour, they did the North American Teutonic Terror Attack tour, and then the proper Stalingrad tour.
Okay.
So that would equal the 85 dates. So the first show was April 6, 2012. The European tour, we're starting at Le Bataclan in Paris, France. Opening on this tour in Europe is Hell for their album Human Remains. If you're familiar with Hell, please let us know in the comments. Our
Interesting.
Prague Metal Fest in Mons, Belgium. Pause Pop 2012 in Schnindel, Netherlands. Big Box, Kempten, Germany. Events Hall, Gieselwind, Germany. Euronics Hall, Zlin, Czechia. Club Stodola, Warsaw, Poland. And a venue called Milk. It does a body good, and it's a great venue. It's in Moscow, Russia.
Oh,
Now,
Interesting.
okay.
now we're taking the summer off. We come back to the US. Opening for Accept, or perhaps it was actually maybe not opening, according to Jack, because he saw the tour. Creator were on this tour promoting the album Phantom Antichrist. And for some dates, we had Swallow the Sun for their album Emerald Forest and the Black Wind. So there you go. We started at the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C., the Trocadero in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have Best Buy Theater, New York, New York. Phoenix Concert Theater, Toronto, Ontario. Mojo's in Joliet, Illinois. Beaumont Club, Kansas City, Missouri. Roseland Theater, Portland, Oregon. Emos in Austin, Texas. Tremont Music Hall, Charlotte, North Carolina. Starland Ballroom, Saraville, New Jersey. Then we go back to Europe. Buzz Club, Athens, Greece. Universidad Hall, Sofia, Bulgaria. Jukebox Venue, Bucharest, Romania. Pagan Zendisno, Zagreb, Croatia. Kino Siska, Ljubljana, Slovenia. Pesca Music Hall, Budapest, Hungary. Amagar Bio, Copenhagen, Denmark. Rockefeller Music Hall, Oslo, Norway. Gala Kalar, Stockholm, Sweden. Club Teatria, Oslo, Finland. Rock Cafe, Tallinn, Estonia. Forum Palace, Vilnius, Lithuania. Palladium, Riga, Latvia. Stereo Plaza, Kiev, Ukraine. Pepper Club, San Jose, Costa Rica. Then we're kind of going all over the world a little bit here. Rolling Hall, Seoul, South Korea. Stellar Ball, Tokyo, Japan. Then a few more dates in 2013. Bar Opiniono, Porto Alegre, Brazil. Teatro Vontusuc, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Metal Fest 2013, Santiago, Chile. Caverna, Rockfest, Caverna, Bulgaria. Hellfest 2013, Kazan, France. Bloodstock Open Air Festival at Walton-on-Trent, England. Last date is Leones del Rock 2013 and Villeno, Spain. So there you go.
When were those last dates? What do you know the dates on those?
August 10, 2013 was the last date. And the night before that, they played
Whew.
Bloodstock Open Air in England.
Wow. Okay. So here again, as we think about this, you said August 10th, 2013, August 15th, 2014, they come out with Blind Rage.
Right.
So again, 1 year to do another album. Again, I'm just like, okay, uh, here we are. It's like we're almost back in the 80s
Yeah,
or the 70s and 80s where they're just like boom, 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 boom. You know? So
banging
I
them out pretty fast.
love
They're
the
just taking a few months off in between on the tours. That's all.
yeah.
I just love the fact that they kept so busy and they, yeah, no breaks. They just, like you said, and that was like a real romance period for me, just discovering this band and falling in love with this band. And here they are churning out these great albums.
Yeah.
I mean, because there was no let up, because uh Blind Rage is another great album, and there's some really catchy songs that I love on that album as well. So,
But we're gonna save that for next week. So
oh,
join. So and we'll have we've got scheduled Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock for that one. So that should be
oh,
we'll get
nice.
and the next 3 weeks will be a bunch of Canadians. So the Canadians will be in influencing the show here. So
Oh,
there you go, Jack. So what kind of stuff you want to plug on your channel right now?
okay. Well, thank you for asking. And first of all, where I'm situated right now, I'm about a 3 hour drive from the Canadian border in either direction. If I go west through Buffalo, it's 3 hours that way, or north. If I wanted to head to Montreal, it's about another 3 hours. So, and I am planning. I'm trying to talk people in my family to go to Quebec City next year. That I would love to see that city, that in Montreal. But
Nice.
I digress. So things that I have planned or things that I've done already. So I just completed my top 100 metal, my all time favorite metal, and I split it into 3 episodes. So into thirds, and I think what, very enjoyable. So please check it out. Right now, I am working on my top 100 hard rock. So I and ranking them is really tough, because the first thing you have to do is you got to put down your top 100 songs, and then there's always like one or two. I'm like, oh, I missed that one. I got to fit that one in. Then what you got to do is you got to break them into quadrants of 25. Then from those 25, I break them into tens, and then you want to take them. Is this song better than this song? And it's really hard. It's you know a lot of agonizing, because these are all songs that I love, and I don't want to be disrespectful to any of them. So if you see something that I ranked at number 98, I still love that song. Just the fact that it made it into that list. Now the metal, I only allowed 4 songs per band. In this, I only allowed mostly 2 songs per band, but in a few exceptions, 3 songs per band, because I like a lot more hard rock groups than metal groups, and some kind of fit, are in betweeners. Like you have a band like Kiss, that some consider them metal, some consider them hard rock, or Van Halen. I consider them more hard rock than metal, but they can go either way. But so that's 2 things. For the Concerts Remembered series, I'm actually going to give you an episode where I call this Concert Regrets, bands that I wish I had seen and that I didn't get to see. But I'm going to give you about 10 of those. So
Nice.
those are the things that I have going. So stay tuned and enjoy. And I really appreciate you guys having me on. This is a
Oh,
lot of fun.
we love having you on, Jack. It's always
Thank
good,
you.
always good to hear your stories and stuff. It's always good stuff. When you said concert regrets, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be like his 10 worst concerts.
No, no, no. Concerts that I wish I had seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I have a few of those too. All right,
Yeah.
John, what kind of stuff have you started another little fun series. I just happened to catch a glimpse of it today. So yeah, talk about what
Okay,
you got
before I get
cooking.
into that, Jack's channel is All or Nada according to Jack.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, the album war. I put that out last night, and where I talk about two or more albums with the same title, regardless of when they were released, regardless of genre. It'll be two out. Like for this case, I did three different bands that released an album called No Rest for the Wicked. So I talk about Helix's version from 1983, New World Army's version from 1985, Ozzy Osbourne's version in 1988. I go over the albums and I talk about what I like and what I'm not so fond of on each album, and then I declare a winner. So that came out this past Sunday, and I will have a few more of those down the road. I also have my Thin Lizzy series going on. It's Thin Lizzy Thursday. As you're watching this, if you're watching the premiere tomorrow, will be the episode for their ninth album, which is called Black Rose, a Rock Legend. That was from 1979. I'll also have an album after series out by the time you get a chance to watch this. And I am also going to be doing a top 10 albums from 2000, and that will be out by the time you watch this show as well. So there you go.
Wait. All right. So yeah. So I'm other than this Accept series, I've got the Mortification Monday series that I'm doing. Let's see, by the time this comes out, the album track ranking A to Z will be out, brought to you by the letter D, which this episode the but this will be out by it'll be out by the time this comes out, so I can say it to these guys. Def Leppard's High and Dry. So I'm sure the shots will be fired for this one. I can't wait to see the people. They got on me about Black Sabbath a little bit when I did that one. But
Mm.
anyway, so that's fun. We will have done 1986 with Grant on Grant's Rock Warehouse. We got that going on. Um, yeah. And then if for those watching the live premiere of this, you won't see me in the chat room because I will be in Atlanta seeing Wasp. So
Nice.
you will not see me in the chat room for this episode, unfortunately. So with all that being said, uh, for those of us in the States, happy Thanksgiving. For all the rest of you all around the world, happy Thursday. Anyway, Jack, all or not, according to Jack, we appreciate you having you on.
Could
Go
I say
check.
one more thing? I'm sorry.
Go for it. Go for it.
Mention it. My concerts remembered. I'm actually doing a I'm fitting it into the concerts remembered. I'm going to give a quick review of the Wasp and Armored Saint show that I saw in Manhattan, New York, about a week ago.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's that.
There you
So
go.
you're in for a great show, but
There you go.
hopefully you'll stay away from the politics this time.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, so yeah, please go check Jack's channel out. Great stuff there, great content. And if you want to see Jack's beginnings, go look on Sea of Tranquility. And God knows that Pete's probably got 100,000 videos with Jack on there. So go check out his beginnings. As I've mentioned before, and I will mention 100,000 more times, please go like, share, subscribe to John, the Music Nuts program. Great channel, great stuff. And anytime you see us on something, whether it's Grant's Rock Warehouse, Rock Daydream Nation, Grab a Stack of Rock, please go. There's a lot of great channels to go check out. Please do check them out, like, share, subscribe, all those good things. Thank you guys for supporting me and what we've been doing. This has just been a blast to do this series. We go into a blind rage next week. So hopefully by that point we will have worked off some of those Thanksgiving pounds, and we can have a little fun with it. So again, for Jack Toledano, for John the Music Nut, John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world. Rock forever, y'all. We'll see you next week for Blind Rage. Take care.